buenos dias de Costa Rica, once more time, yes, okay? We've rented the facility here. The pool is behind me, actually, okay? Get your popcorn out. We're ready for another try. This is for the AR verbs. We're just going to do AR verbs because that's the key to the language. Key to the language. You remember from chapter 1, we looked at the pronouns and you see them on the screen, okay? Yo, tú, usted, él, ella, okay? Nosotros and nosotras. And we said we don't use the vosotros and vosotras form. We also compared that, or we coupled it with the verb ser. Soy, eres, es. Somos, son. We skipped the sois, the vosotros form of sois, because we don't use that in Mexico or Central or South America or Dominican Republic, República Dominicana, or Cuba or Puerto Rico, okay? So let's jump right in with the AR verbs, okay? This is right from your text, okay? So it says, okay, yo, and you see the yellow highlighted there, yes? It's o, as, a, amos, an. You skip the ice with the vosotros, okay? So o, as, a, amos, an. That's your template that we're going to use for all AR verbs. So when it's an O, it's yo. When it's a tú, it's as. When it's an usted or an él or an ella, it's a. When it's a nosotros, it's amos. And when it's an ustedes, ellos, ellas, it's an. So get that template in your head, memorize that template, because we've got two other conjugations, ER and IR, which we'll learn in the next chapter. For now, let's look at how the verbs work in Spanish, because if you understand this, you'll have no problem with the rest of your Spanish life. Yes? Thank you. Moving along. Put this to work. You've got to use all of these verbs. Okay? Memorize them. From bailar all the way down to viajar. Okay? For our purposes today, we're going to use comprar. The text uses estudiar. Okay? And you saw before, estudio, estudias, estudia. Estudiamos, estudian. That's the verb estudiar. We're going to use comprar and explain it. So we picked the verb, we picked comprar. We have to get the root or the stem of the verb. And I've got in bolder print up there, C-O-M-P-R, because that's the root or the stem of the verb with the AR taken off. You do that with all of the verbs. All of the verbs. All of these verbs, okay, all of these verbs take off the AR and you've got the root. Bailar, B-A-I-L-A-R, take off the AR, B-A-I-L. Bail, that's the stem or the root. Okay, so moving along, comprar. We see compro, we see the stem and we're adding O. And you see comp, the stem, we're adding as. And comp, the stem, we're adding a. And then amos, and then an. So let's look at what these words mean. Compro means I buy. Yo compro. And you can say yo compro or just compro. Compro lápices. I buy pencils. But you can also say yo compro lápices. It makes no difference. So, looking at yo compro, what does that mean? I buy, I do buy, I am buying. All three English translations in that one little word. Look at compras. Same song, second verse. Compras. You buy, you do buy, you are buying. And of course, compra, that's the third person, okay? We're dealing with o, as, now we're dealing with a. That's the third person that represents usted and él and ella, all three. So you see, él compra, ella compra, usted compra. So he buys, he does buy, he is buying. She buys, she does buy, she is buying. And you buy, you do buy, and you are buying. All 9 of those in that one little word, compra. On to the plural, compramos. We buy. We do buy. We are buying. So when we add that part of the template, we're changing the subject of the word. C-O-M-P-R is buy, but who's doing the buying? Well, o, as, a, amos, an tells you who. And finally, compran, the A-N, the plural. Again, the plural of él and ella and usted is ellos, ellas, and ustedes. And you see that printed out there. They buy, they do buy, they are buying. All male, ellos, or combination male and female. If it's just a bunch of girls, they're in the dress shop and they're buying a bunch of dresses, ellas compran. They buy, they do buy, they are buying. Talking about all the girls. And then ustedes, ustedes. If you're in New York, it's going to be used by, okay? But if you're here in Florida, in the South, it's y'all, or you plural. I put a PL there if you notice. You plural. You buy, y'all do buy, y'all are buying. Perfect, okay? Moving along. Those same words, compras and compra, we're going to look at now as a question. So we have making a question in Spanish, and it's very simple. Same way we do it in English. Only in English we use that word do. Do you have? Do you go? Or does he want? Or does she go? Or do they want? Whatever the verb, okay? In Spanish, it's in the word itself. That's why we had so many translations for that one word. We're going to look at compras and compra here. So, compras, what does that mean? It means you buy, you do buy, you are buying. But that can also be turned into a question. Not you do buy, but do you buy? Okay? You see, do you buy? Are you buying? Same thing. Same word in Spanish, but a couple of different meanings when you have a question. So, ¿compras los libros en la biblioteca? Do you buy the books in the library? Okay, that could also mean, are you buying the books in the library? Okay, so do you buy the books in the library? No, I don't buy the books in the library. No, no compro. So I've changed the compras to compro because the O represents the I. So, no compro los libros en la biblioteca. Are you buying the books now? ¿Compras los libros ahora? Are you buying the books now? Okay, so that compras becomes a question. Do you buy? Are you buying? Looking at compra. Now, compra, as we identified, has 9 different translations because compra can be él, ella, or usted. So, compra ella. I've put ella with it. And in a question, we always put the subject of the question usually after the verb. So, compra ella los mapas hoy. Is she buying the maps today? We could also say, does she buy the maps today? So we said, compra, do, does. In English, but in Spanish, it's all in that one little word, compra. And finally there, compra usted la calculadora ahora. Are you buying the calculator now? ¿Comprenden? I hope so. Sí. Gracias. Ha sido un placer.